You can go first. I will meet up.
All right, great. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, host. And taking out the time for an hour to allow this. So the opening statement is, the ancestors wrote it down that the earth is an unknown expanse and unmeasurable. And based off my personal observation and investigation over the last 10 years, I've came to the conclusion that I can agree with that. I've made personal observations of up to 27 miles here on the Great Lake Erie from Michigan over to Ohio. I can see way too far for what the heliocentric model presents, which is 24,901 miles in circumference at the equator. The formula for that breaks down to 8 inches to the square mile. With that being said, I don't see the obstruction of the curvature that should be there. Now we understand why with the electromagnetic field in that type of energy. We understand that they removed the ether from the education system 100 years ago. That's a big debate between the heliocentric model and the geocentric model. Now for 5,500 years, we were geocentric up until the 15th century when Copernicus came in and physically switched the sun with the earth without any mathematical kind of formulas. Yes, he made an observation with the elliptical orbit of Venus, but did he fully know what he was doing, or did he plagiarize from the Mayan calendar, who had already tracked and set in stone the particular dance of Venus orbit that completes its cycle every 8 years? My answer is no, he did not. Therefore, Copernicus committed fraud in the scientific community and created the first crisis, and that will be made known in 1904. And we'll discuss that probably throughout the debate when I ask for proof of the heliocentric model. We know you can't have pressure without a container. The geocentric model can present a container. And I think with that, I'll close my statement. Water, when it rests, is flat and level. And the earth is 70% water. I'll pass the mic with that.
All right, and Fuzzy, so just to want to confirm, so you're on the flat earth side, is that correct?
Correct.
Doctor, okay, perfect. All right, Fuzzy, it's on you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for hosting this event. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. The world as we know it has been observed for millennia. We've always been curious about our world. We have garnered the ability as time has gone on, better and better, to measure it, to figure out how to measure it and figure out how to understand the shape of it, because after all, geometry is the study of shapes, and we can use geometry to understand, once we measure things, the shape of an object. That is its purpose. So, to that end, people like the ancient Greeks, the ancient Egyptians, did, in fact, use geometry and their observations to figure out not only the shape of our planet, but also the rough size, quite accurately, as of Eratosthenes' measurement. The world has known that we live on a sphere for a very long time, since about 2,300 years ago. That has not changed. It has only gotten better understood as time has gone on, including the fact that in the Middle Ages, when the cosmos was largely believed to be geocentric, the geocentric models were still spherical, all of them. And geocentrism was finally replaced by heliocentrism around that time in the Enlightenment, when people started to realize, again, better ability to measure and observe and figure out the shapes and relative motions of objects. So whether it was geocentric or heliocentric in the Middle Ages is roughly inconsequential to the shape of our planet. Both of them considered our planet to be a sphere. One thing that was consistent in ancient cosmology, when you look at their mythologies, look at their mythos, one of the things that was always consistent in mythoses from ancient Egypt to ancient Greece, ancient Japan, ancient China, Polynesia, they all had a myth of the sun, their sun god, going down into the depths of the underworld, only to come up the next morning, victorious. Right? That is clear that they understood the sun was actually going down below their feet somehow. They may not have understood that we lived on a globe, but they understood that the sun was going down below their feet. So I intend, with some evidence that I have, simple objective reality measurements, which I know Dr. Flat doesn't believe we can do for some reason. But I have objective reality measurements that we can use along with geometry to falsify flatness and to describe the sphere on which we live.
Alrighty, and let me stop you there because I gave him 3, and
I'm good.
You're right at 3 minutes also.
No,
Just want to be fair with
I was ending.
Okay. Alrighty, and just to confirm, so just to recap it, you're saying 2,300 years ago, that's when we figured out that we was on a sphere. You're geocentric, so you're taking the globe side, correct?
I'm not geocentric. I am taking the globe side.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. So, Dr. Flat, it's on you. It's time for the battle. It's time for the battle. So
All right.
let's prove that the Earth is flat. It's on you.
Excellent. All right. So, as I had mentioned, we'll kind of go just real quick here. Let me see here. I will get my camera off and show my first piece of physical, tangible evidence. It will not be speculation.
Okay.
Let me flip my camera around here.
While you're doing that, those of you all who are watching, go ahead and follow all of us and like the live, please. Appreciate it.
Okay, so this is Albert Pike's Moral and Dogma book, edition 1946. And on page 442, we'll find a particularly cite to the ancients as yet inventors of no astronomical instruments, and looking at the heavens with the eyes of children, this earth was a level plain of unknown extent. About its boundaries, there was speculation, but no knowledge. Okay? So then when we go to page 850, all right, in the same book here, you're right there with it. I apologize. I thought I had it bookmarked. It talks about the instruments that we use, since it was mentioned about
What's the name of the book?
Precise measurements. This would be Albert Pike's, Morals and Dogma, 1946. So this is pre-internet. And I would like to highlight all the signatures, if you can see it, personal autographs of all the men who would have had their hands on this book and studied in a very high respected organization. These guys sponsored the Apollo mission. You would recognize that double eagle right there. They sent their personal flag, quote unquote, to the moon, quote unquote. So not that I believe in it, but that's probably a different subject matter. I use this as authority because that's, kind of our government operations. Albert Pike is a pretty good historical figure. Now here it mentions that the tools that were used by the ancients, okay, the earth and the heavens. And let me see, where did I find? Yes, up here in the beginning, it says the square is an instrument adapted for plane surfaces only, therefore appropriate to geometry or the measurement of earth. So see, we would use the instrument of a square, and a square does not demonstrate any curvature. Now, the compass is an instrument that is in relation to spheres and spherical surfaces and is adequate to a spherical trigonometry or a branch of mathematics. Now, we can use that to measure the heavens and the orbits of the planetary bodies. However, I am not here to debate the orbits of the planetary bodies or the heavens above. because I don't live up there. I live on the geocentric Earth, and according to this text right here, and these guys have a lot of weight. These guys fund NASA and space exploration. Okay. And so as we get into this debate, we're going to find out a lot about the assumptions. Just assume that it's a flat Earth, and we have to use square geometry of a plane surface to do a lot of calculations for flight dynamics, electromagnetic propagation, line of sight communications, and so forth. I'll mute with that.
All right. All right. And do you guys
hear a rebuttal to this particular piece of evidence that is appropriate, that says this is nonsense? And then we can move forward, if that's okay. 5, 10 minutes.
Sure.
I want to note that you stopped at 10:39. 10:43. So you go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know the history of Albert Pike. It sounds like his book name was Morals and Dogma. Doesn't really sound like a scientific book to me. You did mention in there, from his words, that a compass was useful for spherical geometry. We use a compass to navigate our world all the time. So seems about correct. As far as planar geometry, all globers will fully agree that the world is locally flat. It can be treated as locally flat because it is massive. So in small regions, yes, it is flat. It is. But geodetically, it is not. It is not flat. Land surveyors have used geodesics and geodetics for eons. That's how we got to the maps that we have today, maps and globes that we have today, through geodetic surveying. Those tools have existed for a long time. They have gotten better. Today you have things like theodolites and auto levels that help in and along with GPS, that help in doing geodetic surveying. I don't think we should stay with 1800 technology for doing land surveying. Far from that, I think we ought to grab onto the technologies that exist and utilize them. So whatever Albert Pike may have thought of for his conclusions in his book, I can't speak to. I've never read the book. Cherry picking a few quotes out of a book. I'm not going to have a very detailed response to that because I haven't read any of his words in context or his work in context. What I can say is today's geodetic surveying is better than ever. We have the ability to measure our Earth. Even Albert Pike is stating, counter to what Dr. Flatruth said, that his world is measurable. As I said, I've never read Dr. Albert Pike's work. So I'm not going to be able to have a deep response. However, the world is measured with geodetic surveying consistently.
Okay, so if I can, real quick, and I guess I get to rebuttal here on that, just for a quick finalize, just to help. And I'll accept that as a win because you don't know, and that's okay. Right here to show that Albert Pike has a memorial in Washington, D.C., so he's not just some frivolous little author. And that's okay that you don't know about that history. I do, I did, I studied, I confirmed, I witnessed, okay? And the thing I pointed out here is you mentioned the compass. That was to measure the heavens, to study the stars. Again, as I said, I am here to debate the shape of the earth that I stand on, not the heavens. I'm not here to dispute what the orbits of the circles look like of the luminaries above our heads. We can go all night about what we may speculate those are, both me and you. It would be equal weight. It's not really necessary. So what I try to keep it to is the ground below my feet, which I mentioned, the square and geometry, not theodolites, okay, because those are not accurate. Those have a margin of error, and they're only good for up to 100 meters, 500 meters at best. Okay. And so when we get into the baked in recipe for that, that would be the radius of 3959, which is baked in. You can fit those measurements on a pizza in a box. And that's not a globe, sir. It would just be a disc. So you see, we can use a compass to navigate waters. We can use a compass per se to circumnavigate from east to southeast to due south, then to southwest, then to due west, then to northwest, then to due north. That would be called circumnavigating. And yeah, we would use a compass for that. Absolutely. Jumping around from pepperoni to pepperoni. Okay, so there's no dispute there. But the question is, how did you get the radius of 3959? Because I stand on what Albert Pike said the ancients recorded, that the earth is an unknown expanse, unmeasurable. And so, see, sir, you would have to show demonstration and physical evidence, not speculation, of who has surveyed 100% all of Antarctica, because that's still pretty much unknown, unexplored territory. Furthermore, you would also have to take your theodetic satellite station and survey all of the oceans that are still today in the year 2026 registered as 95% unexplored. And I get you're going to say, well, it's because they haven't been mapped, but we still know every part of the ocean. Well, one would think with common sense that if we covered all of the ocean, we would have recorded the bottom as well. I'll mute with that.
Okay, well, that's a whole lot to swallow, and I don't think we want to do these kinds of monologues in the rest of this discussion, because I couldn't even write down all the things that I need to respond to at this point.
I'm sorry. How many minutes was that? Did I monologue? I thought I was under 5 minutes.
Well, 5 minutes is a very long time when we're having a back and forth conversation, and you want responses to
3 minutes, 5 minutes. I'll try to keep it shorter.
Hold on, guys. That one went a little under 3 minutes.
A little under 3 minutes, Fuzzy Bear.
Okay.
You can't handle a 3-minute conversation without telling me I'm monologuing? You monologued for 3 minutes. Come on now. Let's keep it above the belt, huh?
Why are you crashing out, dude?
This is my normal personality, brother. I'm not crashing out. You haven't seen me crashing. You live
crashing out. Yes,
but
I have.
You
so the limits of my turn.
Instead of answering the question, right?
Excellent.
Which
my
is
turn.
Typical for a glober, right?
So the limits of
instead of just answering.
Hold on, guys. I like the passion, but we gotta hear each other, right? The loser of this one has to share the other's point of view. So if you're a glober and you lose, you're gonna become a flat earther for 5 days until you rematch it. So
that is simply not true. So, but you can think that, but that won't happen either way.
That's perfectly fine. Let's go
either way. So he mentioned potential limits of a theodolite, and flat earthers get this wrong all the time. There are limitations for a theodolite and an auto level for using EDM, electronic distance measurements. There are limits to a theodolite, indeed, and they're not very distant. They're only around 1,500 meters for most of them. But we're not talking about electronic distance measurements. We're talking about angles. And those angles have essentially no limit. As long as you can put the crosshairs on something, you can measure an angle to it. That's the point. So the distance measurement of a theodolite having a limit has nothing to do with measuring the angles that we have. He mentioned, again, the compass. And alluded to, oh, no, that's only for the sky, and then talked about using a compass all over the earth as you walk around. A compass is a tool that is used for geodetic surveying, indeed, and it is part of how we understand the shape of our world. I don't know what a theodetic satellite station is. You did mention that. Again, geodetic surveying, you can ignore an entire branch of geodetic surveying if you want. It's how we got the maps that we live with today in our world. It is how we arrived there. It is spherical in nature. So you can't get around that.
No, sir. I would completely disagree. Your eyeball is spherical in nature, and it converges in your eyesight, right? Your horizon you'll never capture. It's always an optical illusion. Okay. And thank you for conceding that the technical equipment that you use today is only accurate. I'll give you 1,500 meters. That's not 3959. You can
Still
use
being
that equipment
disingenuous about it.
measurement. Excuse me, did I interrupt you?
You did actually a little
That's
bit.
why I don't debate you. Not really. I thought you were done. If you're not done, I'll mute.
No, you did earlier. But go ahead.
Thank you. Now, with the technical equipment that you're referring to, okay, and see, this is what happens when you interrupt. A person loses their train of thought. You'll have to give me a moment. This does not count because I was completely
Go ahead.
interrupted.
Go ahead. That's
Okay.
fine.
So let's see. We were talking about measuring the Earth with your theodolite. I gave you 1,500 meters, right? And I believe I was going to go back to the baked-in recipe with the falsified radius of 3959. That is arbitrary math. In order to have 69 miles per 1 degree at 360 degrees, that's what you get. In the GSW 84 system that was established by the association, the Geodetic Association, created in the 18th century. 18th century, not the 19th, not the 15th century, not 2000 BC or 300 BC, right? This association was created here in America, Europe, okay? I probably want to say, to be more accurate, with that association out of Greenwich, where they decided to put a grid. And what I mentioned with the compass was it's used for navigation. I didn't say it was used for measurement. We do not use a compass for measurement. Now, what we use, and this is what I got railroaded on, where you interrupted. What I was going to tell you with the theodolites and whatnot, we can measure grade, angles, and elevation. That's not a big deal. There's no dispute to that. And that is not exclusive to a globe, sir. Of course, the geocentric, non-moving Earth, it's not in motion. We don't observe that. And we'll go to that here shortly because I have evidence that we're not in motion. I hope you have evidence that we are at 5 constant speeds going from 1,000 miles an hour to 66,000 miles an hour to 150,000 miles an hour to 550,000 miles an hour. So yes, your land survey equipment is for plane surveying. Plane is flat and level, not spherical. What you are witnessing is the convergence of your eyesight. That's another reason why your equipment cannot be accurate beyond your 1,500 meters. Okay, because at best, that's the furthest you're going to be able to see with your naked eye to lock in on your target. And it's going to be converged. It's going to be vertically compressed, which I will get to throughout the course of this debate when I show you my personal observations at 27 miles away, naked eye. I'll mute with that. Thank you.
You basically just reiterated all the same stuff. So there's nothing new to respond to.
Okay, so just to check then, I'm going to move on to my observation. Am I free?
Well, hold on. Do we go back and forth? Do we go back and
So
forth?
far,
Who gets to bring up all their points?
Well, you just said that you don't have anything to rebut.
I don't have anything to rebut on your first whole point. Now, do I get to bring up my first whole point?
All right.
Well,
so,
it's been back and forth, isn't it? Like ping pong.
Yes.
If you
I
want,
haven't brought up
if you want,
my
I didn't know
evidence
I
yet.
rested my lead, but go ahead.
So fuzzy. Right now, it will be your go. Right now, it will.
Okay.
Be, unless you concede to Dr. Flat.
No. What I'm asking is, can I shift topics to one of the things I wanted to talk about? Are we done with that topic?
You concede to what I said.
Do I concede to the fact that you completely misunderstand the limits of electronic distance measurement on a theodolite? Yes, I do concede to that.
Ad hominem. That's ad hominem, and that's a personal attack.
I do concede to that.
I completely misunderstood your bullshit logic.
Well, the documentation is crystal clear on what the limits of a theodolite are. Okay, show your evidence you made a claim. You made a claim that a theodolite has a limit. Show me your evidence. Go ahead, show me your evidence.
You got nothing. You haven't shown.
Go ahead, show me your evidence.
All right, so hold on. So if Dr. Flat goes now, then he's taking your turn because it's technically your go right now, Fuzzy.
Okay, so I'm asking, are we shifting topics? Are we done with this topic? Okay. Well, then
No,
I
unless you
will
concede to
demand
it.
that Dr. Flat Truth present his evidence that angle measurements on a theodolite are limited to 1,500 meters.
You made
Dr.
that
Flat, it's on
claim.
you.
You
Go ahead.
made the claim
I
too.
demand
It's
your
accurate to
evidence.
15. I said it's only accurate to 500.
Okay.
I
All right.
gave you
Great. I demand
1,500.
your evidence then.
So,
Go
okay.
ahead.
So if you want to see my evidence, I'm going to show you my
Yes.
observation next.
No, no.
That's what
I
I'm
want to
going to
see your
show.
evidence about a theodolite.
I gave you 1,500 meters, sir.
Okay.
That's
I
your
want to see
statement.
your evidence about a theodolite. You said it has a limit.
Evidence of what?
You said it
I
has a
agree
limit.
with
Show me
you.
the
Said it
evidence.
too. You
Great.
said
Show me
it
the
too.
evidence. Show me the
You
evidence.
show me your 1,500 meters.
Show me the evidence that it has measurements.
Look, bro. Do you know how to
Show me
debate
the
with
evidence.
proper evidence?
I
I
do.
agree
You
with
haven't
you.
presented any. So far, you've.
Hello. Are you going to help this guy figure out that I agreed with him on the 1,500 meters? I gave it to him.
Yeah, because
So
right
Nope. The
now,
burden
I
of
don't
proof
kind
is
of
no.
right.
It's not.
It
Definition of
is.
the limitations
I'm
are
going
on
to show you my
electronic
yeah, but
observations.
data. They're on EDM, electronic distance
I'm
measurement. Show me
okay.
your
I
evidence
gave you
otherwise.
1,500 meters. I
Show
gave
me.
you 1,500.
Show me your evidence that it has to do with
I'm
angle
ready to move on to
measurements.
my
but
observation
see,
of
Fuzzy,
27 miles.
if he give you evidence, then it's going to be on him. So then you're going to concede to your rebuttal.
Then show me the
I
evidence.
conceded the 1,500
Then
meters.
show
Why do
me
I
the
need to show him
evidence.
evidence?
Then show me
Make
the
that make
evidence.
sense?
Show me the evidence
Of what?
All right, let's
of
move to the next
of the
topic because this one's
limitations.
not going to
Okay,
get solved.
great, great. So then it's
Next
my
topic.
turn to
This one's
bring
not
up a
going to get
topic.
solved. Go ahead.
So then it's my turn to bring up a topic.
Go ahead, and then I'll come back to Dr. Flat. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. So measurements, right? Geometry is the study of shapes. It's how we figure out what a shape is. We measure things. We apply geometric principles, and we can figure out the shape. So, sorry. Save. So, hypothesis. Earth is flat with a north pole in the center, and the sun makes a circle above a flat Earth daily. Prediction. If that hypothesis were true, the equator would be a geometrically proper circle centered on the North Pole. So the circumference must satisfy circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. Objective facts in our reality, whichever model you believe, the north distance from the North Pole to the equator, given by 69 miles per degree times 90 degrees of latitude, is 6,210 miles. Equatorial circumference, 24,901, as Dr. Flat already mentioned and agreed to, also derived from data on timeanddate.com. The formula for the circumference based on the radius is circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. 2 times pi times 6,210 equals 38,988, not even in the same ballpark as 24,901. Conclusion, hypothesis of flat Earth is falsified by contradiction. In like manner, hypothesis, Earth is flat with the North Pole in the center, and the sun makes smaller daily circles nearest June solstice and larger daily circles nearest the December solstice. Prediction, if that were true, the Tropic of Capricorn would be smaller than the circumference of the equator, which would be in turn smaller than the Tropic of Capricorn. On June 21st, the subsolar point moves at 952 miles per hour, giving a 24-hour distance of 22,855 miles. On September 21st, the subsolar point moves at 1,037 miles per hour for 24 hours, measuring the 24,901. On December 21st, the subsolar point moves at 952 miles per hour once again, giving a 24-hour measurement of 22,850. So the test, the Tropic of Cancer, is indeed smaller than the equator. The equator is not, I got the comma in the wrong place, is not smaller than the Tropic of Capricorn. This fails. Again, hypothesis of flat Earth is falsified by contradiction. That's it for this point.
Great. All right. Thank you for throwing a hypothesis, because in order to have a hypothesis, you first must have an observation. Did you have an observation on that rhetoric you just rambled off for the last 3 minutes?
Yes, we live on Earth. That is the observation.
Okay, great. So you used the baked-in radius of 3959. You used the baked-in radius of 69 times 360 to give you your 6115 from the north to the equator. You mentioned the Tropic of Capricorn, the Tropic of Capricorn being smaller. Did you know that the Tropic of Capricorn, the equator, and the Tropic of Cancer lines were imaginary, along with your longitude and latitude lines? Did you know that? They're imaginary, sir. Did you know that? Yes or no? That's a direct question.
I'm waiting until you're finished.
It's a yes or no question.
Make your claims.
I just did. Because
They are real. They are real. They are real places on Earth.
As soon as you answer,
they are real places on Earth. They are real places on Earth.
Fuzzy Bear, as soon as you answer that question truthfully, your hypothesis
they are real places on Earth.
All right. Let me just get my Google box real quick and find out if those lines are imaginary. Is the Tropic of Capricorn, equator, and Tropic of Cancer lines imaginary?
27 minutes, guys.
Yes. The Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, and the equator are all imaginary lines. Therefore, your hypothesis is falsified, sir, because you didn't have the capacity to measure a damn thing. I still stand from the beginning of this debate when I told you that the ancients said that it's an unknown expanse, unmeasurable, sir. You have yet been able to show any physical evidence. So now, is it my turn to show that I have made an observation 27
No, I get to rebut.
miles?
No, I get to rebut.
Okay, go ahead. But your imaginary lines have been falsified, just so you know.
I thank you for so eloquently stating that my hypothesis has been falsified, which is exactly what you just stated. So thank you. I appreciate that. Now, considering that the lines of the equator, lines of latitude, lines of longitude are indeed places that we can visit on Earth. We know we're there. They are consistent. Sorry, I thought we weren't interrupting. Simply stating that because Google says that the lines are quote unquote imaginary, as in no one has actually gone to the Earth and drawn a line there, right? And simply saying that because of that, they're not real places on Earth that we can interact with is just silly. It's literally childish. The 69 miles per degree, that is not baked in radius. Again, I thought we were not interrupting.
I'm not going to waste an hour listening to you.
I thought we were not interrupting.
Something being childish. I thought this was going to be a real debate.
I have a question, fellas. I have a question.
And you're just ad homing and throwing insults, and I'm not going to sit here for an hour.
I thought we weren't interrupting.
Hold on, Flat.
Figure it out.
Hold on, Flat. So Fuzzy, because I want to get clarity myself on this. Are you stating, or are you saying that a hypothesis is a fact or is it truth?
No, I'm stating that the state that someone making a statement that because no one has gone to the Earth and drawn a line around it at the Tropic of Cancer or the equator means they're imaginary and you can't use them at all. We know what those lines are. We all know what those lines are. Dr. Flat is simply being pedantic and silly to state that because he doesn't want to interact with my evidence. He doesn't actually want to interact with my evidence.
Moderator, get a hold of this guy.
If he doesn't want to interact with my evidence, if he is just going to say "nuh-uh," then this will be a very silly debate.
Hold on, Fuzzy.
Indeed.
Hold on, Fuzzy. When it's y'all go, just go. Don't worry about the other person trying to rebuttal it. Just go do your thing. When you get done, the other person will rebuttal it because we don't have
I'm
that much
trying.
time left. And if
I'm
you're going
trying,
back and
but I
forth and
kept
answer,
getting interrupted.
yeah, just go ahead and go straight with it, and then let's let
Great.
Dr. Flat go,
So
and then we can go because we don't have that much time left. All right,
once
guys, go ahead.
again, he is dismissing evidence because he thinks the lines are quote unquote imaginary, when in fact they are real places on Earth. There is a real
So
latitude of 0 degrees. There is a real latitude of 23.4 degrees north, 23.4 degrees south. There are real places on Earth that we can stand and observe the sun directly overhead on the particular days of the year. These are real places on Earth. To dismiss that and call it imaginary because you don't want to interact with the actual evidence is disingenuous. And stating that because I use 69 miles per degree, I'm baking in the radius. 69 miles per degree is utilized by our shipping industry, by our navigation industry, by our airline industry, by trucking industry. Those are standard in our world, objective reality truths. 69 miles per degree of latitude. That is a standard. I am not stating something that is globe data per se. It is objective reality data. That's what this is.
Thank you for conceding. I agree. You are not stating anything that is exclusive to any kind of globe curvature, which is why we both referenced baked in math formulas 69 and 360. You can do that on a pizza on a box. In a box. Flat
Do this on
pizza,
a pizza
you
in a
can
box. Do
circumnavigate.
this
You
circle on
can.
a pizza in
You
a
can.
box.
You
Please.
absolutely
Please do
can.
it.
hold on,
Show me.
mute,
Show
mute.
me.
From the
Hold on,
center of the
fuzzy, fuzzy,
pizza,
fuzzy, fuzzy. It's
61.52,
let's go.
bro.
Show
Let's
me.
go.
Go ahead. Show me.
Fuzzy,
Show me
fuzzy,
that
fuzzy.
circle in reality.
It's let's
I'm glad
go.
you conceded
Show
that
me this circle in
measurements are
reality.
not exclusive, that
This is
circumnavigation is not
exclusive.
exclusive to
This
the
is
globe.
exclusive
So
to the
I'm ready
globe.
to move on to my observation. Because I have a
Okay, so you're
physical
ready to concede?
that completely falsifies the
You ready to
falsified
concede?
radius. And
You ready
no,
to concede?
I'm ready. No, you lost already, bro. You lost
Okay.
three
Thanks for
questions ago.
conceding. Thanks for
All right?
conceding.
No, there's no concession here.
I don't think that
I'm
would be
ready to move on with my observation.
him conceding because you did cut him off on that one, fuzzy. So let's go and keep it
I
going.
see how it goes. I got it. Everybody, all the globe community here, controversial conversation, all the globe community are here are watching this one-sided debate. I hope you're aware of that.
I mean, but
So if you want to continue this, if you want to
want to judge it
continue this,
anyhow.
please be fair.
But the community, they're the
Go
ones
ahead.
who's judging it, not
Go
me.
ahead.
Not me. All
Go
right,
ahead.
Flat, it's on you.
Sorry, are we waiting for something?
Yeah, I thought my audio had went out.
Oh, man. I was mute. I'm sitting here talking to the damn wall. Let me start all over. I'm sorry. This is
I
how
put
we.
my glasses off and everything. I thought the audio went out. All right,
I was on mute. All
All
right.
right.
So this is how we falsify the baked in radius of 3959. It's not because we read it in a book. It's not because we just want to feel special and get up here and argue. It's because some of us get out there and make these observations. Now, according to Google, the average observer, 6 foot, which is myself, I'm 5'5", should only ever be able to make a 3-mile observation to the horizon. Anything after that would be quote unquote refraction, illusions, delusions, whatever you want to call it. That's not the case with this observation. This observation is 27 miles. That is 9 times the distance of your baked in radius of 3959, your baked in math of 69 miles per 1 degree, which you said yourself is locally flat, I agree with you on that, because if you take three people and each one of their degrees overlap by just 2 miles, there are 3 degrees of local flat observers, period. Okay? You can't come over top of that. Back to this observation. This tower is 495 feet in height. And according to the 27 miles that I have between me and that cooling tower, there should be observable 380 feet of obstruction, no matter what the weather is doing. You will notice there's a white square next to it. That is the reactor that tower is responsible for cooling. That is 200 feet in height. I should never be able to see this far with the naked eye observation. No theodolite, no geodolite, no special equipment. Okay? Now, when I zoom in, I'll pull that up. Bear with me 1 second here. And I'll try to make this quick so that I don't monologue more than 5 minutes. Please let me know if I hit my 5-minute mark. This is what happens when we zoom in. Okay? Now, we get a lot of slack about why can't I see the bottom. You'll notice there's blue water, thin black line, and a light blue sky. It all has to do with atmospheric conditions. And there's a thing called convergence. And within that convergence, the way our eyes work, the horizon, things vertically compress from the bottom up. So what does that mean? If there's a house that's 40 foot, if there's a tree that's 65 foot, it's going to shrink to nothing, barely negligible. Okay? It's going to blend in with the colors that are protruding off all the other objects around it. Some absorb, some emit. Case in point, you will notice the white reactor today has decided to reflect everything and show itself. But when we get different weather conditions, I will show you that reactor will disappear. Now the white reactor is gone. But notice the water is no longer blue and the sky is neither blue either. And the wind's blowing from the west, southwest. Different weather conditions brings different observations. So the same thing I have here, I could tell you, gee, the reactor is behind the curvature in this observation, and you would believe me. And then I bring you back the next day, blue sky, blue water, calm wind. Now we can see the reactor. How'd that happen? Okay? So you're going to have those same technical issues with the theodolite, which goes back to why they're not as accurate as you would like them to be. Not enough to say that there's a radius of 3959. Not enough to say that per 1 degree it's 69 miles locally flat. It's locally flat because this is what water tells us. Water, when it rests, is flat and level. I'll mute with that. Thank you.
Sure. So first of all, thank you so much for presenting Globe Proof. Much appreciated. Thank you for demonstrating the effects of atmospheric refraction on observations on different days. Well presented. You made a statement that Globers are going to say, where's the bottom of the building? Well, you're absolutely correct, because that is what one would wonder. Where is the bottom of the building? Now, the bottom 100 feet or so is missing from that observation. 100 feet at a distance of 27 miles would have 2.4 arc minutes of angular size, still well within the human eye's ability to resolve. So there would be nothing causing it to not be resolvable based on perspective and angular size at all. What you are seeing is the evidence of the curvature of the Earth. What you also didn't present is any measurement of the distance of the horizon that you saw, right? All you're doing is saying, hey, the whole distance is 27 miles. Great. Now, where's the bottom of the building? How far is the horizon? How far did the horizon reach out from where you were looking? Where was the horizon? Did the horizon change at all when you zoomed in? It didn't appear to my view, not at all. Didn't appear to at all. Now, what we can say is there are things in our world that are built, engineered for the curvature of the Earth. For example, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. They have towers that are built perpendicular to Earth where they stand. Absolutely, necessarily perpendicular to Earth where they stand so that they can bear the load. Now, those towers, for bridges such as those are not parallel to each other. I repeat, they are perpendicular to Earth where they stand, and yet not parallel to each other. Again, just looking at it, no, you wouldn't notice it. If you measure it, they are off. They are not parallel because the Earth curves, and it's observable in that distance. It's observable in your distance as well. Again, thank you for demonstrating your globe proof for me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't hear you say anything about you went and measured the bridge. I did hear you, and I would agree that yes, bridges are built and designed to hold load and weight, not adjust for curvature because they're building over top of a valley. That would be completely opposite of a curve. Now, as far as 2 arc minutes to my observation, could you please show the audience how you calculated 2 arc minutes for that? Go ahead. No, you can't. You're on mute, buddy.
Yes, right there
Okay, right where?
on the screen.
I can't read it. Go ahead. It's too
Okay.
small.
So first thing you do is normalize down to feet. So 1 mile is 5280, 27 miles is 142,000 feet. You apply the small angle formula, which is h over d. 100 feet over the 142,560 feet is 0.000701 radians. And then you can convert to degrees and convert to arc minutes and seconds. It works out to 2.4 arc minutes.
Okay, 2.4 arc minutes. And what
For
exactly
100
is
foot
that
up.
arc minute doing for
So
this observation?
that is the you stated that perspective and convergence is why you can't see the bottom of the building. Now there's 100 foot of that building missing, and
No, it's not missing. It's clearly visible. If it were
it's
missing,
not
then they would be
visible.
calling it.
It's not visible. The horizon is blocking it.
No.
There's 100 foot of the building missing. You even acknowledged why is the bottom of the building not visible? You even acknowledged that.
And what did I
You
say
acknowledged
directly
that.
after? What did I say directly acknowledging that?
That convergence due to perspective is the thing that's causing that to disappear.
What did I say within the window of convergence? What did I say then?
About our eyeballs?
Compression.
Vertical compression
is what I said.
Okay.
Now, can you explain
That's
to
convergence.
me what that means? No.
That would be convergence.
Explain to me what vertical compression is, sir.
That would be convergence.
No.
Yes.
Explain to me what vertical
that
compression
would be convergence, angular resolution,
the
ability to resolve two different objects
Okay, so since you
based
don't
on their
want to
angular
answer the question,
size.
then allow me to articulate and give you the definition of vertical
Go right
compression.
ahead. Go right
Okay,
ahead.
things compress from the bottom up. So now, can you use your common sense and ask yourself again why the first 100 feet is compressed, that you can't resolve it with the naked eye?
My floor isn't compressing from the bottom up.
Are you 27 miles from your floor? Are you 27 miles from your floor?
Does science scale?
Are you fucking 27 miles from your floor?
Does science scale? I'm real down close.
27? Show me something.
I'm
27
millimeters
miles.
from the floor. I'm millimeters from the floor.
Okay,
I'm
so
millimeters
you don't
from the
know
floor.
what vertical compression looks like at 27 miles
Does science scale?
Gotcha.
Does science scale? How do you calculate vertical compression? How do you predict it? How do you predict it? Go ahead. How do you predict it?
What vertical compression is.
Okay. How do you predict it?
So you don't know what vertical compression is.
Okay, great. How do you predict it?
So you don't know what vertical compression is.
Great. How do you predict it?
Great. I'm not answering another question until you answer mine.
I did. I said great. How do you predict it?
No. Great into nothing. Do you know what vertical compression is? That is a yes or no question.
You said you don't know what vertical compression is. I said great. That's an agreement. Great.
You to tell me what vertical compression is.
I don't know what your definition of vertical compression is.
You don't know. Thank you.
You've already stated your definition.
How about you give your definition, Fuzzy, of what vertical compression would be to you?
Vertical compression would be the limits of our eye, which is essentially angular resolution, the ability to resolve two different objects as being distinct based on their distance and their angular size. That's when things compress, when the human eye can no longer resolve the difference between two objects. That's based on the Rayleigh criterion. And the Rayleigh criterion is below 2.4 arc minutes. So that build, the 100 foot of that building would not compress out of existence in your view because it is still above the Rayleigh criterion.
All right. And Dr. Flat, go ahead and give yours.
Vertical compression is based off the air temperature of the surface, depending on whether it's hot or cool. How much you see. Sometimes it will be elongated up and you'll see more. Sometimes it will be less. It just really depends on the atmospheric conditions, which atmospheric conditions has nothing to do with the curvature of Earth.
Atmospheric conditions do play a role. That's why refraction is important to understand. You also stated that the shape of our eye has something to do with it. Does that mean that if I lay down sideways, that things start compressing left to right? How come that doesn't happen if it's the shape of our eyes that's doing that? How come when I lay down sideways that it doesn't change the orientation of compression?
Your eyes have cones in them, sir. So when the light goes into your eyeball, it hits a cone. That is why things converge at the horizon.
Yes, they have cones. Great. But you're stating that they're converging top to bottom because of the shape of our eye.
360, but it doesn't matter. Your convergence at the horizon.
So if our cones are
convergence rate,
if our cones are 360 degrees, then that doesn't matter.
In ratios that we have, your eye is a 360 degree circle. Okay.
Yes.
You can get 69.
Does that mean everything I look at is? Does that mean everything I look at is curved?
362, bro.
Does that mean anything I look at is curved?
Automatic 69 per 1. It's a 1 to 69 ratio with any kind of mathematical formula that has 360 in it. I don't care.
No, it's not.
On a chalkboard.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. No.
1 to 69? No. The moon is not 1 to 69.
360.
The moon is not 1 to
circle,
69.
Sir.
Yes.
300 and any circle. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-inch circle,
that's
a 10-inch circle. It is fucking 360, 1 to 69 ratio. On
1 to 69 ratio is not correct.
Circle, on an extra large pizza, on a medium pizza.
It's a
360 degree circle. That is arbitrary.
Wow. It's a 360 degree circle, but the ratio of 1 to 69 has to do with the specific value of our radius. So a different radius gives a different value.
Take 69
yes, sir.
And multiply it by 360 and tell me what you get.
Of course you get 3959.
Well, would you look at that?
Well, you get 24901. You get a radius of 3959.
Once again, you get that arbitrary, convenient, coincidental measurement.
Yes, but not every circle has a 1 to 69 ratio. Not every circle has a 1 to 69 ratio, like you stated.
You never measured it.
Did you actually believe that every circle has a 1 to 69 ratio?
Absolutely has a 1 to 69
every circle.
ratio.
Every circle.
If it doesn't, it's not a circle.
Oh my goodness!
You got 5 minutes
wow!
To go.
Wow! I never thought things would get that bad. Honestly, I never thought things would get that bad. That's pretty awful.
Do you have a rebuttal, Fuzzy? That was a
1 to 69 ratio. That is simply false for every circle. That is simply false for every circle. The ratio of miles per degree, distance per degree, the ratio of distance per degree on a circle or a sphere has to do with the radius of said circle or sphere.
Sir.
Yes.
What is the circumference? What is 360? Is that a circle, yes or no?
360 degrees is a circle, yes.
Okay. Now, per 1 degree, how many inches, millimeters, centimeters, miles? Which abbreviation would you like to measure in? What unit would you like to measure that in? You can measure in millimeters. You can measure in nanometers. It really doesn't matter.
Awesome. Does this have a 69 mile per degree here?
All the way around that circle that you're holding right there, 360. It's a
360 degrees,
ratio.
yes. It's not a 1 to 69 ratio.
It's a 1 to 69 ratio, sir.
Holy crud. Holy crud.
You can't have a circle without a 360 degree.
360
Otherwise,
degrees,
it
yes,
wouldn't be a
that
circle.
doesn't make it 1 to 69. What part of that do you not get?
Then how else can you derive to 360? Give me a different number. Go ahead.
We measured it on our planet. We measured it on our planet.
Show me how you have a 360 degree circle without a 1 to 69 ratio.
A circle with a radius 10. A circle with a radius of 10 doesn't have a 1 to 69 ratio.
That I was showing, guys.
Well, then it wouldn't be a circle, would it?
It is a circle. It's a circle with a radius of 10, but it doesn't have a 1 to 69 ratio.
What would it have?
A different ratio based on its radius.
Such as? You said it. Radius of 10.
Let's calculate it.
Calculate it, sir.
Sure. Actually, 1 to 69. What are you measuring? 1 of what?
Doesn't
radius?
Matter. 360.
I already said. 360 what?
I said it's a 1 to 69 ratio. That
1 to 69. What's the ratio?
That means if you chop 360 one time, you got 69 pieces, right?
No.
Then you'll get all the way around your 360.
Oh my gosh. Holy crud.
Like I said, millimeters, centimeters, it really doesn't matter.
It does.
You transfer it.
It's based on the radius.
360 degrees is 360 degrees.
It's based on the radius.
No, it's not based on the radius.
It is based on the radius.
Okay, run 69 times 359 or divide it. Go ahead. What you going to do?
You do it.
That's not how you got 359. You got the 359 from the diameter, which is 7,000.
3959 was calculated.
3959 comes from half of the diameter, which is a radius.
30.
That's
yes,
a different number.
That's correct.
Okay, so where are you getting 69 from, sir?
By measuring our planet.
Right. By measuring your planet. Now, if you measure your eyeball, it's the same damn thing. It's just not in miles.
Time.
Oh my gosh.
Load it up. Turn me up. We in the lobby. Let's go.